So this is a brand new X20 radio. I'll briefly go over the ETHOS operating system navigation and a couple hardware tips and settings tips. So to power on the radio, it has a 3-second power on, power off protection. So you'll need to hold the power button down until it powers on. Then you can release it.
Welcome to ETHOS. Switch warning. Failsafe not set.
Bypass the startup warning message by pressing the button or hitting the return. From your touch screen, you can navigate through the different menus. The home icon will take you all the way back to the home screen. The airplane icon is your model setup area where you can select different models and create new models, edit the models, set up your mixer settings, and adjust other various model specific settings. The two overlapping square icons are your telemetry screens, which you can configure to add onto the home screen. So for example, I'll add a new screen with 4 blocks, and when you go to your home screen, you can page over using the page button in the middle, and you can configure different widgets to appear here for your telemetry. The last icon here is your gear icon, which is the radio settings area. You can access the file manager and configure all the other hardware specific settings for the radio system. A couple settings that I like to change here are to change the gauges for the signal strength and battery so that they're digital instead of the icons. So from the general tab, you can scroll all the way down to the bottom and turn on digital voltage and digital RSSI. For me, it's much more important to see the 7.6 volts or the exact RSSI signal strength. Another setting I like to change here is when you roll the navigation wheel, it will keep beeping. So I changed the audio mode from always to default. And lastly, I like to also change the highlight color here. You can choose what works for you. I like to choose the ETHOS green here. The 4 icons at the bottom of the screen also correspond to the buttons down at the bottom of the radio. So the model button is the same as clicking on the model airplane icon. The display button is the same as clicking on the configure screens button. And the gear icon is the same as clicking on the system, or system button is same as clicking on the gear icon for your radio settings. You can also configure that behavior by programming the settings under the home key map on the hardware setup area, and you can even do the long press configurations.